G'day, my name's Brian from BsianTech. We're going to have a look at this GoPro Hero 10 Black. Now, I've done an unboxing of this GoPro Hero 10 on my other channel. If you haven't checked that video out, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check it out after this. But basically, I've never owned or played with an action cam before until now. And I've now actually spent about a month and a half with this Hero 10. I've got to say, I'm really loving this form factor, and it has been a fantastic addition to my arsenal of cameras as well too. What I mean by this is a lot of times where I think I want to actually do some sort of shot, and really I don't really want to place my other cameras in, for example my DSLR or my mirrorless camera or even the video camera. There are places where you just don't want to risk, because those are really expensive. Oh, this is expensive too, but not as expensive as those cameras there. You just don't want to risk it in those situations. Whereas this, I really just don't. I just place it in different places because I know this thing can take the abuse. So being an action cam, this is fantastic to be in your arsenal, and absolutely fantastic being a normal camera as well too, as you'll find out. So I've got to say, as an action cam, this is a wonderful experience I've had with it, and also to take those point of view shots as well. Now, what I like to see improvements on the GoPro Hero 10 after I've spent a bit of time with it is I like to see, first off, is how the battery is attached to this Hero 10 Black. Now, at the moment, to actually unattach get access to the battery or just to charge the battery, you need to lift up this flap, and pretty much the USB-C port is hidden behind here. Now that's not too bad. I don't mind that because you do need to have this as waterproof, so it's got to be sealed. But what I've found is once you plug in that USB-C, sometimes this battery hasn't got anything to keep it inside there while this flap is open. So I like to see some sort of lever or something that just stops it from pushing out or sliding out. So I've had this a few times where I'm trying to charge it and it's just not charging, and pretty much just jam it out, take the battery out and jam it back in and try and make sure it's snugly fit, because there's nothing, just pressure that's holding it back into the other slot for the battery. So I like to see that, or they make another one of these flaps which you can pretty much detach. Make a flap that you can have another flap where you can actually have a USB-C port that you can just take out and charge. So you don't have to open this flap altogether. So I know that does break the waterproofness of it. Seal is probably a better word for it. But it'd be nice to see. Sometimes you just don't have to worry about the waterproofness. You just want to still keep the water resistance, and that's still having a flap with the USB-C out there is still very viable for an action cam. So I like to see them produce maybe a flap for this. There is another accessory that is able to do that, which is the media mod, but sometimes that could be expensive for those people. So it'd be nice just to see just a flap developed for the GoPro Hero 10, just to have the USB-C port out instead of having to open up that flap. So that's one thing I like to see of it. The second thing I like to see, even though there's indicators of at the front, I love the screen at the front, give you a nice what you're doing and some indications of the battery, how much time is left as well, and what kind of mode that you are in. But I like to see some audio indications to say that I am running on audio or I'm not, because if I hook up using the media mod and I put it into this GoPro 10, I can't tell if the audio, if I'm using external audio, because you can plug in external audio in the media mod. I don't know if the audio is coming out if I'm doing some vlog or using the front screen, just so I know that the audio is working. I don't have to turn to the back, or if maybe the audio is no longer working because I ran out of battery from my external audio source. So it'd be nice to have audio indication in the front screen. I know it's a little bit tight, but that's something I don't mind forgiving, to have something removed, just to have that, because that is a very important indication for people who are vlogging or people who are filming. One of the things I really love about the GoPro Hero 10, and that just shocked me how good it is the Hypersmooth version for this thing. For the stabilization is insanely great. I've never had a camera that has that crazy, insane stabilization. This is just amazing. And even though it is an action cam, that is its beauty, that it has these crazy stabilizations. So definitely fantastic. Now, of course, I really love how high the FPS on this. So recording very high FPS, so you can actually, when you do the editing, you can then drag out and the smooth, buttery smooth for the slow motion. It's just gorgeous having that high frame rates for high resolutions, because quite simply in the professional camera world, it's actually quite very expensive just to get to those type of frame rates on a normal camera. And this, it just does it so well. And that is absolutely great, because the cost of this is just a little bit of what a professional camera that can do at those crazy high frame rates. One of the outstanding features I love about the GoPro 10 is its startup time. Now, it's just a matter of clicking at shutter, which is the button on top. 1.5 seconds later, it's already booted and automatically started recording already. That is great. That is fantastically fast. And once you finish recording, press that same shutter, it automatically stops recording and powers off the GoPro. How simple is that? You can't get any more simple than that for recording video. That is great. Now there is another button on the side, which is the power button, and it also doubles up as a mode switcher. So you can switch between video, time-lapse, and photo. I had a bit of play with the time-lapse and it is great fun, which is also hyperlapse, you can call it. And I can do some crazy creative stuff, and you have the ability to go and change whenever you feel like to go into normal speed or half speed, and you can just be very creative. I enjoy using time-lapse a lot. And of course, with the photos, it does a fantastic job at photos as well. That leads me to these two physical buttons. These two physical buttons are absolutely fantastic when I took it to scuba diving. And I've had an underwater casing on this, and I've actually tried taking photos and video through a point and shoot cameras as well as DSLR cameras with underwater housings, and definitely it's not as easy as this GoPro Hero 10. This was so simple, and also the quality of the photos and videos were just matching up with the other cameras I used previously. And although they were old, these just blew me away by the quality of the video. And the DSLRs, well, they do great for photos, but in video wise, they're a bit meh. This does both, and it's such a compact form. I love it. So in scuba diving, I really enjoy having those two physical buttons, but it'll be nice to have a playback button, but then again, we're down there with not much air. But definitely, I love using the GoPro Hero 10 in deep underwater. Definitely, I would recommend, if you were a scuba diver, I would definitely recommend picking up a Hero 10 for sure. One of the things I like to see an improvement in the GoPro is maybe considered for some physical buttons for the playback. Now why I say that is because the GoPro 10 can go up to 10 meters in depth for water, because it has that waterproofness. And I love taking this GoPro in water, but one of the problems is once this thing is in water, the playback on this is on the back screen only. So you do need to touch the back screen to get to the playbacks. Now this isn't an issue when you're in water, because most of the times that touch from your finger is not registering when this has gone. Of course, in water, that's not going to register. But once you're out of the water and you got wet fingers, it also doesn't register very well for the playback. And that is a bit of an issue for people who are very creative like myself, where I want to see from what I've shot to see if I can improve the shot, or have I made that shot or so. So it'd be nice to have a physical button for playback. The battery life on the normal battery that comes with the Hero 10, it operates for just under an hour. So if you're a scuba diver, more than likely you'll probably want to own multiple batteries, because most dives are about 45 minutes, unless you've got multiple tanks or you're very efficient with your air. That also leads me to improvement I like to see in the Hero 10. And it's not about the battery, because that's going to be the least of your problems. What the major problem I've found from the Hero 10, if you're recording in 5.3K or 2.7K at any frame rates, or at 1080p with 240 frame rates, it overheats and stops recording anywhere between 14 to 17 minutes. So the battery is not going to be your issue. It's actually the temperature. This thing gets hot and it overheats. I can understand why it overheats, because it is recording quite large files and it's also very high frame rates. But if you're recording in those kind of resolution, 14 to 17 minutes is what you'll get out of these, and then this thing will automatically shut down and you need to let this thing cool down. Now, if you do 1080p at 60 frames per second, you're looking at an average of around about 25 minutes before it automatically overheats and shuts down. So I like to see the temperatures get improved in the next version, because that is very limiting in the length of the video that you can do. One of the things I like to see GoPro include or add to their accessory pack, because I've got a lot of accessories, and it's something that was just basic, and it's the first thing I asked GoPro when I received this to have a look at, and that is having an accessory that has a 9mm mount, or just a tripod mount. Not just a normal tripod that GoPro makes, because that's great to see, but what they don't have is something that's larger than maybe this short or even this short. I want to use a normal tripod that I have, or I've got a lot of accessories I can put this on if it just has a 9mm thread. That's all I really want, just to go from these GoPro mounts and just go straight to a normal tripod mount. So it'd be fantastic if GoPro can create that accessory, because that would then allow us to reuse our normal tripods. I know they're trying to make some from their own tripod. They are short though, but what I say this is because I know this thing can do a webcam, or just make use of a webcam, but the problem is I want to bring the webcam usually to a certain level, and the GoPro tripods they have isn't high enough. So you've got to use your own tripods. So what I've been using is using a thing like this, which is probably for the surfboard or maybe a kayak, is to clamp it and then have this attached to it and then clamp this onto my tripod. It's a bit annoying. It'd be nice to, and it's not really that stable in the first place. So it'd be nice if GoPro can create a tripod mount for this that I can then just screw it or attach straight to my tripod. And the last thing I love about the GoPro, and this is not something that's unique to GoPro Hero 10, but it's a little bit, an extra bit to the GoPro, and that is the GoPro Cloud or GoPro Plus subscription. It's something you do have to subscribe annually, and I'm going to tell you, it is worth any penny. Now, what it does give you is, first off, it gives you an extra 2 years replacement warranty on the GoPro Hero 10, which is great to hear. But where the magic really begins, and this is something you appreciate the most, is it has unlimited cloud storage. Unlimited cloud storage. Let that sink in your mind there. Unlimited. That is fantastic. Now, these GoPros or any sort of videos you'll find that is recording at high resolution at 4K or even 2.5K is extremely big files. They're massive files. And if you try to back them up to any other cloud service, they have limitations. Most of the cloud storage solutions have a maximum capacity of 5 terabytes. And I know that because I've been searching for many things for a lot of cloud storage for my own personal use, because I do a lot of video content creations for videos, and you know how large those files are, massive. And so I usually have to off-put them to my NAS or something, because I just don't have enough cloud storage. Whereas this GoPro Hero 10, that subscription has unlimited. That is fantastic. So that subscription itself is worth every penny of it. And of course, having the replacement warranty is just a nice little bonus. But remember that unlimited cloud storage, definitely I would advise, if you got a GoPro, buy that. That is fantastic. You can also upload other videos I found out through the cloud, the GoPro clouds, and sharing it is just easy on iOS or even to Android to other people as well. And it doesn't suck any of your other cloud storage. So definitely it is worth getting the GoPro subscription. one of the new features, which is really neat, is that you can connect the GoPro Hero 10 to a computer via the USB-C cable, and you can use the GoPro Hero 10 as a webcam. That's great because the video that comes out of the GoPro Hero 10 is very high quality. But there is one issue, and I like to see an improvement from GoPro, is that it does not carry the audio through to the computer. So your computer must have a microphone, as it doesn't use the inbuilt microphone on the GoPro. So I like to see a firmware update. Hopefully that's all that's required to allow the audio or the microphone to pick up and pass it through to the computer, so you don't need an external microphone. That will be fantastic to see. Else, this is great to see. You can use this as a webcam. It's just a matter of installing the GoPro application. I got a number of accessories for the GoPro Hero 10, and I will be reviewing some of these accessories, but I will be putting them on my other channel. Now, if you're interested in seeing those reviews, I will be putting the link in the description below once they're made available, so you can check them out later on. Overall, the time I've had with this GoPro Hero 10, I really love this action cam. Now, I wish I bought an action cam a lot more earlier than just finally to this day. So I'm going to continue using this. I actually take this everywhere with me because I enjoy using it that much more than even on my mobile phone. Now, I don't know the best camera is what's in your pocket. So a lot of times it's still there, but still, if I had this in my pocket, I would just reach out and just use this instead, because it's quite simply, it has great video, and again, that cloud storage is fantastic. I don't have to worry about the storage of that. And like I said, this thing is just robust, and just to give you a peace of mind, you can just chuck this anywhere. So absolute fantastic product. Now, I hope you find this video informative or enjoyed it. If you did, even support my channel, smack that like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel by hitting that subscribe button again to the bottom right of the screen. I do try to upload a new video every week, and just remember, everyone, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. And I'll catch you in the next video.